Harry was criticized by Admiral Lord Alan West over his nomination for the Pat Tillman Award for Service at the upcoming ESPY Awards in Los Angeles, despite Harry being recognized for founding the Invictus Games, which supports injured servicemen and women. The nomination has caused controversy. A petition has been launched, and even Tillman's mother expressed shock over the decision, suggesting there are more fitting recipients. Lord West advised Harry to reconsider accepting the award, highlighting its potential negative reception within the military community and suggesting it might be more about publicity for ESPN Entertainment and Sports Programming Network. First, the nature of the award is that the Pat Tillman Award is named after Pat Tillman, a former NFL player and U.S. Army paratrooper who died while serving in Afghanistan. This award is presented to individuals in the sports world who have made significant contributions to the lives of others, especially through impactful acts of service. Critics may feel that Harry, despite his contributions through the Invictus Games, does not fully meet the standards or is not closely related to the values that Tillman has represented. Admiral Lord Alan West, a former senior commander of the Royal Navy, warned Harry that accepting the award might not be well received by the military community. This may be because Harry stepped away from royal duties and took subsequent personal steps that many in the military may view as inappropriate or disqualifying compared to Tillman's sacrifice. Additionally, the Tillman family's dissatisfaction, especially the reaction from Pat Tillman's mother, also increased the negative nature of the public reaction.
Miss
Mary Tillman expressed her surprise and said that there are other people more deserving of this award. Perhaps she knew that Harry had betrayed his family and the United Kingdom, and that he was certainly not eligible to be nominated. It doesn't stop there. I think ESPN may have nominated Harry for this award as a way to attract attention and generate media interest. Without considering his actual suitability, he gives the prize. This has led to protests from those who feel that the awards are being used for commercial purposes rather than honoring truly deserving individuals. If Harry were to accept this award will lost its cause. If Harry decides to accept the Pat Tillman Award, it could lead to a significant shift in how the world perceives the meaning and value of this award. Pat Tillman is a symbol of courage and ultimate sacrifice, a man who left a promising sports career to serve his country under the most challenging circumstances and ultimately gave his life. The award named after him aims to honor those who exhibit similar values of bravery and tireless service to others, especially in challenging situations. In Harry's case, while his contributions through the Invictus Games and initiatives supporting wounded warriors cannot be denied, the connection between these efforts and the deep values that Tillman sacrificed for remains controversial. The award, when given to a divisive figure, could lose its profound significance, becoming more of a tool for publicity rather than a reward for genuine service. Moreover, accepting this award in a context where there is opposition from the community and even from Tillman's own family could overshadow the actual efforts and send a message that symbolic contributions or high-profile individuals might be prioritized over stories of deep but quiet sacrifice. Harry's acceptance of the award could trigger a public backlash not only within the military community, but also among the broader public, potentially diminishing the award's dignity and legitimacy that it has built over time. This could affect not only the value of the award, but also Harry's image and role in social and charitable activities he has been and continues to be committed. Oh, indeed. Wonder what Harry has done other than betray, destroy, and take advantage. What has Harry done besides orchestrate his grand escape from royal duties, daring to prioritize personal happiness and family over a lifetime of unrelenting public scrutiny? How utterly shocking that he chose to carve out a new path, founding the Invictus Games, an event merely supporting wounded veterans to rehabilitate through sports. Clearly a trivial pursuit compared to the weighty task of cutting ribbons. And let us not overlook his brazen efforts to promote mental health awareness and support various charities. A stark deviation from the much-preferred royal pastime of waving from balconies. Really, one must ask, where do his loyalties lie if not within the unyielding walls of tradition? In addition, as I just said above, if Harry were to accept this award would lose its cause. It will be all about Meghan's expensive clothing, standing left, right, and center and promoting herself on such a prestigious occasion. It has nothing to do with Pat Tillman's sacrifices. She had done this on the Invictus Games. Harry Spolo. She will do it again. This woman, self-adoration and self-publicity know no bounds. Harry has said Meghan paid Serena Williams a lot of money for the award, therefore he will not be giving it up, even though Pat Tillman's mother doesn't want him to have it, saying there are more worthy winners. A stark manipulation of accolades that should be earned through merit and service. This action, if true, would not only tarnish their reputations, but also blatantly disregard the sentiments of Pat Tillman's mother, who has voiced that there are indeed more deserving candidates for the honor. Their insistence on clinging to the award in the face of such criticism paints a picture of brazen self-interest and disrespect, further distancing them from the principles of genuine service and humility that the award is meant to epitomize. Why does the media keep repeating that Harry was the founder of Invictus? He might have had the idea from the Warrior Games, but the Royal Foundation, in partnership with the Ministry of Defense and with the assistance of Sir Keith Mills, were the founders, with Harry being the patron only to give him something worthwhile to do. But I think about the time the military brass spoke up on this disgraceful insult to all veterans who served their nation, both in the UK and the US, especially those who became permanently disabled as a result of their service rather than spend their time in a bunker room playing video games. If Harry still goes ahead and accepts this honorable award, it will be seen in the same vein as Meghan's curtsy, mocking our late queen. It is disturbing to realize Harry will stop at nothing to get the adoration which clearly belongs to someone far more worthy. My opinion, after all, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. Meghan wants to hold your hand and walk on the red carpet for the cameras. But, unfortunately, the world doesn't want to see both of you on Pat Tillman's award. Back off. Harry, you love your mom. Have empathy on Pat Tillman's mom. She doesn't want you and on your wife on that red carpet. So back off, Harry. To be honest, at one point in time, maybe Harry would have been deserving of this award. But he has allowed his wife to barge in and take over. She has to be the center of attention and has made a point of that by pushing the veterans into the background. Harry needs to accept the fact that the Invictus Games have changed into something completely different than what he originally envisioned. It is now a showcase for his wife to flaunt a designer wardrobe and expensive jewelry, and Harry has done nothing to rectify this and bring the focus back to where it belongs. Be alert and aware properly. Harry and Meghan are really unpopular in both the US and the UK, that they continue to collect undeserved awards won to help. Harry's army nickname Bunker Harry was very apt. Harry slept through the entire Camp Bastion attack in 2012. There even was a safe room for Harry in place. The Prince of Wales helped fund the Invictus Games 10 years ago and, more recently, gave $1 million whatever he won from that lawsuit against the newspapers. He did do a great job for the veterans, as patron until he allowed his wife to become involved. Now, the Invictus Games is spending millions for the privilege of having these two attend. Meanwhile, well-deserving veterans who are not as privileged as he is have to pay to travel, eat, and for lodging, and these two millionaires do not pay anything. They should be setting up awards and scholarships so all the veterans who wish to participate can. Again, this patron has literally just shown up and spoken encouraging words. Over the past several years, this has turned into a fashion show centered around them, and he abandoned his civic and familial duty. He does not come anywhere close to Pat Tillman and his sacrifice for family and country. Harry has done the exact opposite. He and his grasping other half have sacrificed their families, friends, and the United Kingdom to make money. Pat Tillman gave up a National Football League contract worth several millions and probably would have been an incredibly successful player. He sacrificed all that to fight for our country after September 11th. These bought awards are disgusting. ESPN and the foundation should be ashamed of themselves for cheapening this award. He should do the right thing and decline. The evidence is very specific. If Harry was such a paragon of excellence, how did he manage to fail his pilot test not once, not twice, but 3 times? This isn't some scurrilous rumor conjured up in the darker corners of the internet. No, this little tidbit comes straight from the mouths of high military commanders. Let us unpack that for a moment. Here we have a prince, swaddled in the finest royal protections. Yet when it comes to demonstrating prowess in the cockpit, it appears our noble Harry couldn't quite stick the landing, so to speak. It is a rather inconvenient truth for someone often held up as a shining example of royal capability and military honor. What does this saga tell us? That perhaps the crowns and the accolades were more a matter of birthright than of merit. And now, as the same man is festooned with awards and honors like the Pat Tillman Award for Service, one really must ask on what grounds, if mastering the controls of an aircraft eluded him so. How are we to believe that the reins of such a prestigious award won't similarly slip through his fingers? This debacle is more than a footnote in a princely tale. It is a glaring spotlight on the perils of entitlement. It begs the question of how many other qualifications might have been conveniently overlooked or adjusted to fit a princely narrative. After all, in the world of royal make-believe, why let a little thing like repeated failure interrupt the splendid pageantry? It is quite the metaphor for a broader narrative failing upwards in spectacular fashion, all while the world watches, half in awe and half in incredulity. In the grand tapestry of royal duties and heroic facades, Harry's aviation misadventures are more than just a blip on the radar. They are a testament to the notion that not all that glitters in royal regalia is gold. And sometimes, it's not even bronze, it is merely well-packaged brass. Let me tell you what Harry has done. He came back from the Warrior Games and told our Queen about them. She spoke to the right people, and Invictus was started by those who made it all happen. Along came that wife, and she took over, leaving Harry as the supporting act. The only award Harry deserves is the one for being so dim he can see what is in front of him, assuming he and that wife actually see each other outside of rehearsed PR stunts. Surely the heads of Invictus can see how this is looking. It need not reflect on them, and shouldn't he? And the answer is to remove Harry, especially through all this. Everyone has forgotten the real losers, the wounded veterans. They are never interviewed or showcased for their bravery instead. It is all about Friar Tuck and some aging Z-lister hogging the limelight. One must wonder how the noble ideals of the Invictus Games have been so easily overshadowed by the ceaseless circus surrounding its once revered patron. The Games, founded to spotlight the indomitable spirit of injured servicemen and women, now seem more a backdrop to the personal dramas and celebrity antics of Harry and his entourage. Instead of tales of courage and overcoming adversity, the headlines swarm with the latest exploits of our modern-day Friar Tuck, who seems more preoccupied with merrymaking and media appearances than the valorous deeds of the true heroes of the Games. The solution seems clear. Invictus needs to reclaim its narrative and shift the spotlight back where it belongs. This might mean making the difficult choice to sever ties with Harry, allowing the organization to restore its focus on the athletes and their remarkable journeys, rather than serving as a stage for royal drama. The Invictus Games were never meant to be about royalty. They were about resilience, recovery, and the relentless spirit of warriors who have seen the worst but still strive to give their best. In a world that too often celebrates superficiality and stardom over substance and sacrifice, Invictus has the opportunity to set things right. By refocusing on the veterans and reducing the royal razzmatazz, they can preserve the purity and purpose of the Games. After all, the real story should be about these extraordinary individuals, not the frolics of Friar Tuck and his cohort. Isn't it time we celebrated the true stars of Invictus, the brave men and women who truly embody the spirit of the unconquered? I am not sure whether anyone has heard this story, but he was startled by the criticism he received after being nominated for an honor named after an American combat hero murdered in Afghanistan. The Duke of Sussex. It's the Pat Tillman Award for service to the Invicta Games. There is a glitzy award presentation in a few days in Los Angeles. And there has been a lot of backlash, especially from Mother Mary, who was not consulted and thinks it was an awful disgrace. And there are far more deserving recipients. This is not great. Nothing works for these two, right? Nothing. I mean, in all honesty, yeah, I am sure there are far more worthy recipients without a doubt. But I am slightly torn on this because I do think, having watched the Invictus Games, having traveled around the world and interviewed our servicemen and women, and from other countries as well, I do think it has done a great deal of good. It really has changed the lives dramatically of a lot of service personnel. They really do thank him for doing this. In some cases, when they've been horribly hurt and they've had to want to keep going. I've spoken to ex-service members from all of these countries, and they've all said the same thing. So, absolutely, I know he took it from the Warrior Games, developed it, and fashioned it with his personality. And so, I am hesitant to criticize the Invictus Games. But, well, you know what? I am actually very glad to give folks an example of the Pat Tillman Award from last year, which was awarded to members of the Buffalo Bills American Football Club training staff who rescued a dying player on the field. I think you are completely correct. And the point I was trying to make was that I believe the Invictus Games are the only thing right now that Harry can be viewed positively. I believe it is wonderful. Yes, I was there at the first one, which was fairly modest, and I recall going out a year before the one in Australia, and the momentum for it was incredible. But what interests me about this is how much it has altered, such as when men and women have had their legs amputated or become mentally ill as a result of the stress. When you chat with them, they believe he has done an excellent job. But that is what I am trying to communicate. It seems a little harsh, doesn't it? But the point I wanted to make quickly, my buddy, was that it demonstrates how far those two and his marriage, and I am serious, have carried them into public consciousness. Because I believe that if all of the hype surrounding the Invictus Games were removed, people would unanimously agree that they are a terrific event. But it does tell something about what the majority of the world thinks of those two and how they've acted. That is what I think. There's no doubt about it. Because up until Meghan arrived, everyone was praising Harry for what he had done with the Invictus Games. If you recall, the King, as Prince of Wales, and William were both present during the Invictus Games opening ceremony, which took place in England. And I believe it was only this week that the government confirmed its support for the Invictus Games returned to the UK at a cost of £28 million. But, regrettably, what occurred then and what happened again is that the Invictus Games, when they come to England, will spark a flurry of tabloid articles about, well, what's going on with the King? Will he support it? Will Harry be there? Was Meghan coming? And everything becomes a bit of a farce. A pantomime, as is their custom. And there is the disgrace. I mean, I think he squandered the opportunity. I believe he wanted to serve in the military. And I believe it made a difference. However, as a result, everything has taken on a pantomime quality. It is a shame because I believe it is quite important. Well, that's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching our video. And I want to know what you think about these issues. Please express your opinion in the comments below. Hope you will always be cheerful and happy. Don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.